Coming up on News 3 at 10, a historic upset at Camp Randall tonight. News 3's Melissa Kim and Jay Wilson will have highlights and the latest on Tropical Storm Florence. What's next for people living along the East Coast?
This is News 3 at 10.
Thanks for watching News 3 at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. A disappointing day for Badger fans around the state as the football team drops its first non-power conference win in years. News 3 Sports Director Jay Wilson has a recap from Camp Randall.
A lot of people left Camp Randall today saying, boy, I didn't see that one coming. BYU comes to Madison and surprises 6th-ranked Wisconsin 24-21. BYU's offense was pretty bad in Provo against the Badgers last year, but they broke off some big chunk plays today. Squally Canada was the guy who led them. He was their running back. He rushed for 118 yards and 2 scores. He put BYU up 21-14. Early in the fourth quarter, though, Wisconsin tied it. Taiwan Deal with his second touchdown run of the day made it 21-21. BYU then kicked a field goal. Wisconsin had a chance to tie in the final seconds, but Rafael Gaglianone's 41-yard attempt went wide left, and that ended the Badgers' chances, and they suffered a rare home loss, 24-21. Well, despite the pessimism in the locker room, there is optimism as the Badgers look toward the Big Ten season. We'll hear from the players and head coach Paul Chryst coming up a little later in sports. For now at Camp Randall Stadium, Jay Wilson, News 3 Sports.
All right, Melissa Kim will have highlights and reaction later. And at least it was a nice day for a football game. It got a little hot there for a little while, right, Dave?
Yeah, there were a lot of people that had to seek treatment for heat-related illnesses because it really felt hot today. In some spots, it felt like the 90s. Doppler track has been clear for the past couple of days. A live look in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam showing those mostly clear skies. 73 right now, but during the heat of the day, it actually felt like the low 90s for some of us. Right now, temps in the upper 60s and lower 70s. That's what the heat index is right now as well. Temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours will drop into the upper 50s to start Sunday and be off and running through the 60s and 70s. By the time we get to tomorrow afternoon and evening, highs should once again make it into the low to mid 80s under plenty of sunshine. Also a few more clouds. We'll talk about the clouds on the increase into next week and also the rain chances on the increase in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Dave. As the state of Wisconsin begins to assess the damage from last month's storms, a fall staple is also being impacted. Rock County reporter Adam Dexter spent the day talking to apple farmers and joins us live from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with how it's impacting their businesses. Adam?
Well, for many, fall means trips to the apple orchard, apple cider, and of course, donuts. But today I caught up with the apple farmers who say the recent weather has been hurting their bottom line. At Apple Hut in the town of Beloit, the first apple pickers of the year are making the rounds. But farm owner Lori Jensen says in the years she's been on the farm, she's seen the weather continue to change.
I think it's just really changed a lot over the last few years, and dramatically so that you actually notice it.
Jensen says she considers her farm lucky to have missed much of the rain that has hit the state over the last month.
We were really fortunate. It's like the heavens split open and went north or south of us. We escaped all of the hail that had been going on.
But says rain elsewhere in Wisconsin can leave apples on farms like hers rotten.
Your fungal diseases, your scab on your apples, because it doesn't dry out. It just stays hot, humid, and wet.
In nearby Walworth County, the owners of the apple barn say the rain and heat forced them to change how and when they harvested this year.
Ended up picking earlier than we have, almost ever, just because of the rain and just the consistent heat that we got.
Jensen says long-term, she doesn't know what to make of the continuing change in weather.
I hope that this climate change that we're going through would just stop. You know, I don't know how long-term that's going to affect farming.
Now, despite all of this, both of the orchards we visited today were up and operating just as normal, and admittedly a relief for farmers who spent the better part of the last 2 months watching the radar.
All right, thank you so much, Adam. A woman hoping to raise money for Alzheimer's research has created a rockin' yearly tradition. This is the 4th annual concert to hashtag End Alts at Boss Meadery. 6 years ago, Karen Wheelslock's mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So as a musician herself, she decided to organize a concert series that would raise money for her participation in the Walk to End Alzheimer's.
My mom doesn't always recognize me. She needs a lot of help with different things. And just knowing that there is support out there is great, but also hoping that something can be done so that that her and the future generations can, not have to worry about it.
All the musicians have personal connections to the disease. Last year, she raised $1,300. That money will go toward the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and that is on October 7th at Memorial High School. Thanks to everyone who has helped donate coats and winter accessories to our Coats for Kids campaign. More than 700 coats have been donated so far. The Community Action Coalition says the greatest need is for kids' coats. They need all sizes from infant snowsuits all the way up to teen sizes. If you have extra winter items, you can drop them off at Clinky Cleaners or at Leisure Family YMCA in Dane County. Mandatory evacuations are underway across parts of North Carolina. Entire communities are being flooded by rain from Tropical Storm Florence. The storm is being blamed for at least 12 deaths. Courtney Zubowski has the latest from Wilmington.
Florence is showing no mercy to North Carolina. The slow-moving storm has virtually stalled, dumping relentless rain after making landfall as a Category 1 hurricane.
It's pretty deep. It's scary. There's cars already going under. There's people freaking out.
Water is rising fast in the northeast part of the state, leaving entire communities flooded in Jacksonville. People trapped in their submerged homes have been rescued by boat and helicopter. Anthony Loved watched as the water crept up to his front door. He says he wasn't taking any chances.
You see the water coming in, it's like, okay, are we going to stay here and get wet, or are we going to go ahead and leave?
Officials here in Wilmington are asking evacuees not to return home just yet to give crews enough time to remove downed trees and restore power. This grocery store opened early this morning, just in time. People here have been running out of supplies.
Well, we were prepared. We had a lot of supplies and stuff, but you can only buy so much ahead of time, and then you know that there's certain things that you're going to run out of.
Gasoline is also in short supply. Drivers waited nearly an hour to fill up at this gas station. In Cumberland County, authorities are going door to door, telling residents to leave after issuing a mandatory evacuation. Officials say the Cape Fear River may crest above 62 feet.
We're talking about flooding that has not been seen to this degree, potentially, since 1945.
Another 1.5 feet of rain may fall before the weekend is over. Courtney Zubowski for WISC News 3.
Nearly 1 million homes and businesses are still without power. New at 10 tonight, the Milwaukee Archdiocese is holding a vigil of reparation tonight for what it calls the sins of the bishops of the church. The prayer vigil included a candlelight procession, prayer, and adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. This comes in the midst of a wave of revelations of clerical sexual abuse against both children and adults that has engulfed the church. Coming up, when the current docks and piers at Memorial Union are put away for the winter, they will be retired for good. We take you to the groundbreaking of the new Tong Family Marina after the break. Welcome back. A local organization is celebrating a milestone today with a birthday party. The East Madison Habitat Restore is celebrating 17 years today. The store sells lightly used household items with all of the proceeds going to fund Habitat for Humanity. The organization builds homes in the community for people who otherwise couldn't afford a home. To celebrate the store's birthday, everything was 17% off today. The hope is they will be able to raise enough money to build up to 20 houses in the area during the next few years.
For 17 years, we've been able to contribute huge things to the community, bring in so much money to build as many homes as we can, and be able to provide people of the community with things that they need for their homes.
Right now, the organization builds about 5 homes every year. Well, it may feel like 4th of July weather, but the Oktoberfest spirit is in the air. Walktoberfest, one of the first Oktoberfest celebrations in the area, is going on this weekend with beer, brats, and of course, polka music. People are out celebrating the state's German heritage. Organizers say it's a great way for the family to spend the weekend.
Just about getting involved with the community, and it's a good family event, and you just kind of casually walk around and hang out with people in the community.
The festival ends tomorrow with a home brewing taste test competition. Regional planners are looking for your help in deciding the future of our area. The Capital Area Regional Planning Commission is asking area residents to take a 10-minute online survey, which prompts them to rank priorities in areas like technology and the environment. Planners say in the next 25 years, Dane County's population is expected to grow by 150,000 people. That's the equivalent of 2 Camp Randall stadiums. So it's important to start preparing now.
That's 90,000 homes and maybe 90,000 jobs and lots of roads and schools and police stations, and all that. How that happens makes a difference to our quality of life.
To take the 10-minute survey, you can go to greatermadisonvision.com anytime before November 12th. Survey results will likely be released next year. The docks and piers along the Memorial Union Terrace have served the Wisconsin Hoofer Sailing Club for a long time, but after this sailing season, the current docks will be retired. In their place, the new Tong Family Marina. Today, the groundbreaking ceremony of the new dock showed that the facilities are for everyone. These docks have been around for decades.
They've served us well for many, many years.
Long before Mills Botham got involved with sailing.
I have spent the last 11 summers of my life on Lake Mendota.
And he's been taken to the water for a while.
Ready?
The planks of the piers have been there for him throughout his sailing education.
It takes some skill to do, but that's half the joy of it. It's not a difficult thing to learn, it's a difficult thing to master.
But these trustworthy old docks have seen better days.
They've done an extraordinary job for what they do and have survived considerably longer than anyone anticipated that they would.
And their age was never more apparent than during last month's historic flooding.
We came down on Tuesday morning to docks that were floating away.
So when these tried and true docks get put away for the winter, they won't be coming back.
This is their last season. We're pulling them at the end of 2018 for the last time.
But sailing is too important for the students and community members.
All study, no play, does not bode well with anyone.
That's what UW alumnus Peter Tong thinks, at least. A longtime hoofer, the new marina will be built in his family's name after $1 million donation.
I think we have really a world-class pier design, and I think it will become the envy of the world.
So when it comes time to unfurl the sails for the first time next year,
through your loop, then around the outside line,
the new marina will be a gift that keeps on giving.
We're anticipating being able to increase the size of our youth program to allow more children to grow up through the program as I did. The idea being that this marina is for everyone.
The Tong Family Marina will begin construction in October and is expected to open for summer 2019. The Wisconsin Union is still raising funds for the project. If you're interested in getting involved, you can go to the Wisconsin Union website to learn more. All right, Dave Caulfield is here. I know you've been following Florence and all this damage they're seeing.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane, these rainfall numbers, and we know a little bit about that across southern Wisconsin, but check out these numbers from just the last 48 hours or so. Swansboro, which is on the coast of North Carolina, all these numbers come from North Carolina, by the way. Over 30 inches of rain. The National Weather Service office in Morehead City with almost 2 feet of rain. And those numbers, folks, could go up over the next 6 to 12 hours. Until we really get into the light of day, it's going to be hard to just see the full extent of the damage and the flooding that's going on because of this tropical storm. So still, Florence is a tropical storm moving west at 3 miles per hour. So believe it or not, it actually has picked up the pace just a little bit. It was west at 2. Max sustained wind at 40 miles per hour, but gusting to about 50 to 55. So the track still looks pretty good, pretty consistent with what we've been understanding and anticipating with this storm, where it hooks into the northeast and could affect some portions of the Northeast and New England with tropical depression-like conditions and things like that as we head into next week. But for downtown Madison, we've been rain-free for the past 2 weeks about on the Edgewater Skycam. Today, the high 87 degrees, 15 degrees above normal, and actually within 10 degrees of the record set back in 1939 of 96. 73 right now, though. That dew point has come down a little bit at 63 degrees. Temperatures right now in the upper 60s and low 70s. Those dew points still in the upper 60s for southwestern Wisconsin, so a little bit more humid on that side of things. High temperature trend. We stay warm on Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, a little bit on the warm side as well. But then we get the rain chances back, and the clouds associated with those rain chances will keep our temperatures right around 70 degrees going forward. Tonight, temperatures in the low 60s, mostly clear and mild. For tomorrow, temps in the low 80s, partly sunny and warm again. So the conditions stay quiet for a couple more days. So if you're a fan of summer and don't want it to leave, I know there are lots of us out there, enjoy the next couple of days because pretty textbook late summer weather with highs in the low 80s and a few clouds here and there. On Monday, we're still going to be warm. We're right ahead of a cold front, so that's going to spike up our temperatures a little bit. But then as we head into later on Monday, some slight chances for some showers and storms arrive, and better storm chances on Tuesday and Wednesday. No numbers here on the precipitation potential, but anywhere from about a half an inch to an inch of rain possible as we head into the later portions of next week. So we'll keep watching that very closely. We could use a couple more dry days, but at least we got the stretch that we did. And temperatures staying in the 70s for the first day of fall. It starts on Saturday. Pretty much at nighttime, at 9 o'clock at night, basically, but we'll be in the low 70s. And for the first full day of fall, a slight shower chance comes our way with highs in the low to mid 70s. So more rain chances than not. So the dry weather overall coming to an end, but we still have a couple of nice days to look forward to.
And I'm definitely part of that group that doesn't want summer.
Yes, I was thinking of you as I was saying
that's
it.
me.
There you go.
Man. All right, well, thank you, Dave. The Badgers are now 2-1 this season, but not all hope is lost. We'll have more from the team coming up next in sports.
Well, earlier this week, BYU head coach Kailani Sitake talked about how good the Badgers are in the trenches and how he's admired that blue-collar style of football around here since Barry Alvarez was the head coach. Well, clearly, he's been paying attention because the Cougars not messing around today. Levi Hifo catches the pass behind the line here, passes to Moroni Laulu Putatu to the right for the 31-yard touchdown, 14-7 BYU in the lead. Just before half, Alec Ingold scoring his second touchdown of the season. It's a short one, but ties it up at 14. Fast forward to the fourth quarter now. Cougars in the lead by a score. Taiwan Deal, what a game for him. His second touchdown of the game, something he hasn't done since Minnesota in 2015. It tied up again at 21. But this would be the difference maker. 45-yard field goal here to give BYU the 24-21 lead. So with less than a minute left in the game, Rafael Gaglianone, he'll get the same shot. But BYU ices him twice. The 42-yard attempt is no good, and the Badgers lose their first game since the Big Ten championship last year, 24-21 in the final. Tough game offensively, both on the ground and in the air, and really on all phases of the game, but not all hope is lost. With more from Camp Randall, here's Jay Wilson.
Maybe everyone was remembering last year when Wisconsin went to Provo and just creamed BYU 40-6. Well, BYU came to Madison and returned the favor with a surprising 24-21 win. All day long, the Badgers and their fans were waiting for some spark, something to get things going, but that spark never really came.
We win as a team, and everyone can own their part equally in a loss, and so we've all got to take a look at the things that we can control and how can we get better, and we've got to take those steps to get better.
The hardest thing, I think what most guys do is they take it personal and they think that, one play that they made lost the game or something like that, and it's always a team effort. So I think just trying to be there for them and, make them realize that we got a lot of ball left to play.
No, I don't think it's deflating at all. I think it's the exact opposite.
Why?
You still got a whole season left. I don't know, I think that's just the way that everybody's wired in this locker room. A loss isn't deflating. It's not going to defeat you, just like everything in life, really. That's the wrong mindset if that's how you're looking at it.
The loss ended a couple of very long and impressive winning streaks for the Badgers. It's the first time in 42 games they had a loss against a non-conference opponent at Camp Randall, and it's their first loss in 21 games in the regular season. But the slate is clean now. The Big Ten season starts next Saturday night at Iowa. At Camp Randall Stadium, Jay Wilson, News 3 Sports.
Elsewhere in the conference, Kent State at Penn State. Nittany Lions starting fast. Opening drive, Trace McSorley going deep. DeAndre Tompkins dives, catches the 40-yard touchdown, 7-0 Penn State. Fast forward to the third quarter, all Nittany Lions. McSorley taking another deep shot, this time connecting with Brandon Polk. 41-yard score, and 11th-ranked Penn State moves to 3-0, 63-10 the final. Some other major scores today around the Big Ten. Temple beats Maryland at home. It's been a tough season for the Terrapins. And Troy beats Nebraska in Lincoln. It's the first that the Huskers are 0-2 at home since 1947. Elsewhere in the top 10, number 12 LSU visiting number 7 of Auburn, number 11 LSU rather. Second half action, Jarrett Stidham going to his right. Darius Slayton with the 4-yard touchdown, 21-10 Auburn. LSU getting within 2 and then 2 seconds and counting. Cole Tracy nailing the 41-yard field goal as time expires. LSU upsetting Auburn 22-21. The Brewers optimistic given their performance as of late in Game 2 of the series against the Pirates tonight. We're scoreless in the first inning. Christian Yelich again. He hit one yesterday. Today he hits his 30th home run of the season. 1-0 Brewers. That's really all the offense they would get today. Brewers lose 3-1. And finally tonight, back to some college football. This is pretty unreal. North Texas at Arkansas. Blake Johnson punting it away for the Razorbacks. Keegan Brewer casually catches it there at the 10. He has 5 Razorbacks around him, all thinking that's a fair catch. But instead, Brewer takes off running. Ends up scoring a 90-yard touchdown on that return. Paging Brett Bielema, who no longer is the coach there anymore, but seriously, special teams was his thing. They weren't paying attention before, apparently. North Texas beats Arkansas 44-17. It's only week 3 of college football, and the world's already exploding. So.
Oh my gosh, so much disappointment, but so much excitement on the other side for these teams.
It's such a love-hate relationship.
All right, thank you so much. We'll be right back. Bit of a stressful day sports-wise, but thank goodness it was sunny and it was a nice day here.
Yeah, definitely a little bit warm and a little bit humid during the afternoon. I think we'll see something similar tomorrow, but overnight, temperatures dipping into the upper 50s, and we should reach highs once again in the low to mid 80s. Plenty of sunshine, maybe some clouds coming through in the afternoon and evening, but those won't produce any rain. The rain chances start to spark up very late on Monday, and they'll be with us Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Temperatures dipping into the 70s Wednesday and Thursday. And for the first day of fall, temperatures are pretty close to fall averages.
All right, thank you so much, and thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.